Hi guys, welcome to the tutorial of how to create a new tag. Prior to this, you should have watched a video and learned how to print an existing tag, and that includes opening the existing tag to be able to print it. So if you don't know how to do that yet to get to this current screen, then please go back and watch that video first so you can understand how to open this. Once we have a tag opened that's in the correct format, then we can go ahead and make a new tag for a new plant. I start with an existing tag because everything is already set for you. Like the font size is set, whether you have it bold or italic, it's already set for you, so you don't have to click as much. You can create a new tag completely blank by clicking this A over here in the left hand side, and it brings up this box for you, and I'll explain this box here after a bit. But you have to click a whole bunch more versus this previous tag, this tag right here. It's already completed for you, so you're just double clicking into things. You don't have to change the font size or anything like that. So let's get started. You have a reference sheet in front of you, and it shows you exactly this screen, and it describes where the edge of the name needs to go for the plant right over here. It describes where the edge of the barcode needs to go, and then it describes where all of this needs to go as far as its edge, and then the edge of the logo. So pay attention to that, because that's the format that we want all of our tags to be in and get them changed into eventually. So we are going to we just got it in a new plant, and it is called Butterfly Bush, and the variety or cultivar name is Miss Violet. So to simply change the name right here, you will go up to it and you'll see this dotted line box around it, and that shows that you are over top of that text string. And you have this regular arrow. What you're going to do is you're going to double click with the left side of your mouse, so just double click, and it'll bring up this dialog box here that you see in the middle of your screen, and it gives you all these different choices of what you need to do. The nice thing about this cheat sheet that we gave you that you have in front of you, it tells you exactly the name or the point size and the style that we want. Everything else on the screen, if it's not called out, don't change anything because we have it set the way we need to. So leave the font and leave the TrueType fonts as TrueType fonts and then Arial. You will change the point size if necessary. You'll change the style if necessary. Don't change rotation or data source, just leave those. So there's four things on the screen that you won't do anything with. This goes back to the reason why I use an existing tag, because you don't need to change the point size. We already have it set at 9. You don't need to change the style because we already have it set at bold. The only thing you need to change on the screen is going to be the text string, which is in this case going to be the name of the plant. So like I said, it's going to be Butterfly Bush Miss Violet, or Miss Violet Butterfly Bush. We always start with the most common name, which in this case is going to be Butterfly Bush. And then I do a space, a dash, another space to separate out the cultivar, and type in Miss Violet. And then you can either hit enter on your keyboard if you would like to speed up the process. That's usually what I do. Or you can come over here with your mouse and press the OK button. And as you can see, it changed the name up here for us. Miss Violet Butterfly Bush came in a 3-gallon. So once again, to change the size over here, you'll double click, and all you got to do is just come down here, hit backspace, the number 3, and then go ahead and click OK or enter. Then you need to change the price is the next thing, and we have 3-gallon butterfly bushes listed at $39.99 for the 3-gallon. So then you'll go ahead and hit enter or OK, and then the planted price is going to change, and you will need to have a labor sheet in front of you for that. And all we do is take the retail price of $39.99 plus the labor price, which for 3-gallon is $18. So you'll need a calculator, the labor price, and then the retail price to be able to do all of this. And you will double click into the planted price again and backspace to enter in the planted price, which in this case, since it's an $18 charge for planting, it is going to be a total price of $57.99, and you'll hit OK or enter. The next thing we do is change the barcode. So you'll double click into the barcode, and it will bring open this other dialog box that looks just slightly different than the text string one. And you will not change the code, the rotation, the multiplier, or the data source, the bar width ratio, or the height. Do not change any of that. The only thing you're going to change is the barcode value. So the barcode value is associated with a specific plant. And we do that in the program that we use for our registers, which is called ShopKeep. And that will be explained in a later video, but you need to make sure that the barcode that you've looked up at ShopKeep is the same, because right now we haven't edited this yet, and so it's still set as the hot raspberry butterfly bush number. So if you were to go over to the register and scan this current barcode as it is, it will ring up as the hot raspberry butterfly bush. It will not ring up as Miss Violet butterfly bush, because each plant gets its own number. The nice thing is you only have to change the last 5 digits of the barcode, which is super helpful, because the first, 7 digits, I believe, it's a 4 and 6 zeros. That doesn't really ever change. We haven't gotten up above the 99,000 or 99,000 to be able to get up to add another number or whatever. So the item number for the Miss Violet butterfly bush ends in 41551. That's really the number that you need to know, because like I said, it will always be a 4 and 6 zeros, and then it's followed by a different number associated with the plant. So you'll just backspace to type this in, and like I said, it is 41551. That is the number that's associated with the Miss Violet butterfly bush. And go ahead and hit enter on your keyboard or OK. So once the left side is completely changed, then you will go ahead and come over to the botanical name, because it did change. We got a different cultivar. It's still Buddleia davidii, but make sure you've looked up on the computer the exact botanical name, because in this case, Miss Violet dropped the davidii. Miss Violet is a hybrid cross, and that's a whole nother story. But in this case, it still is a Buddleia davidii, but it is a different type. So davidii got dropped. You can name or blame botanists for making your life challenging for this part. So this one is just Buddleia, and then you do a tilde, or not a tilde, not a quotation mark either. I forgot the name of this right now. You'll do the quotation mark, whatever, and type in Miss Violet, followed by another one of your TISC asterisk things. And go ahead and hit enter on your keyboard or OK. And then you can see there's 3 lines, and each one of these lines is a separate line. The way that this program is set up, you can't press enter. You can only enter in one line. So we have a description written down for the Miss Violet butterfly bush. We have it as a compact butterfly bush with dark purple blooms from summer to frost. It grows with a graceful and arching habit. So to do all of that, you have to double click into each text string and kind of make it look nice. I mean, it can't be overlapping the logo, which in this case we have set too far. We need to adjust that, so we'll just do that real quick. It needs to line up, the edge needs to line up with this line right here, as we have shown in the example in front of you. So back to this text, we don't want it to overlap the logo because it just doesn't look nice. So when you're typing, if you want to, you can we'll just type in some lovers. You can see that's clearly too far. So just make sure it doesn't overlap is the biggest thing that I can say. So we're going to change all of this. You'll just highlight it all and type in. And so it's not the end of a sentence yet, so don't hit the period or whatever, but I know that's going to not overlap. And you will go ahead and continue with the description. For the sake of time, I'm not going to. But like I said, it's a compact butterfly bush with a dark Purple Bloom from Summer to Frost, and it grows with a graceful and arching habit. So you'd have those 3 lines right here. And once again, you don't change anything because it's already an existing tag. We have the point size set for you, and we like it at an 8-point normal. So here's the style, it's still set at normal, and then we changed everything. So once you've edited the comment or the description or whatever, the next thing we need to do is the size. We always do height and width. Sometimes you'll see height and spread, so like an S. We definitely like the W here. It just makes sense. Everywhere else you look online, it's always height and width too. You'll get the select websites that say spread. This butterfly bush is listed at 4 to 5 feet high and 4 to 5 feet wide, so it's the same. So if you wanted to, you could just do 4 to 5 feet high and wide, but not always does that happen. So like as you can see in this one, it's 3 to 4 feet high and 2 to 3 feet wide. So you would separate it out like this, but in this case you can shorten it, so it just says 4 to 5 feet high and wide, just to shorten it, make it easy to read. We are going to leave it at this. I don't backspace the whole thing. I just go back to where it needs to be changed once, or just once, to save you time. So you do 4-5 feet with the mark there that I don't know the name of, and here again you'll type in 4-5, and then you can hit enter. So I'm going to show you what, like if you decided to do not the repeating of the 4 to 5, you would just backspace all that extra stuff and then type in an ampersand, and that is basically what it would look like. You don't have to do that, you can. It really doesn't matter. And then you can leave it where it's at. It's nice on the bottom there. It'll still show up in print for you. If you don't think it will, then you can move it up a little bit right there. Well, I've already moved the little logo, and it's in line with this second mark before the 4. This is a ruler, by the way, if you didn't catch that. So there are denotations for each mark. The butterfly bush, Buddleia Miss Violet, needs to line up between this line or this line. And then same with the compact butterfly bush. We like them to just all be in a line. It just looks clean and nice. If you noticed on the example that we have there, the tag we have that we use for all of our plants, it's actually perforated. So when you're out in the field and instead of bringing in everybody's plants, like maybe they're buying 100 plants, you can just go rip off that tag. So when you rip off the tag, it basically like lines up right here. So it's gonna rip off part of the violet, which is totally fine. But then everything to the left over here is going to be included on that. So you'll have the barcode and everything else, but the plant itself is then still tagged, which is super helpful. I really like this tag that we use just because it rips off and it makes your life a lot easier when you're out in the field pollen for people. So that's why we need to have the barcode where it's at. It needs to be, we have it set at the 3rd line from the 1, which is right here. So you can see we have that set over. This way, whenever we rip, it doesn't rip off part of the code that we need when we scan. Now, if it does happen to rip off the code, which it shouldn't since we're having everything set the same way, you can just go to the register at ShopKeep in the search bar and type in this number. You can even actually shorten it to the 41551, and it will pull up the Miss Violet 3-gallon for you, unless you have the number typed wrong, which is why we always need to double check the number. Once all of this is saved the way, or done, corrected the way it needs to be for a new tag, because we just got this Miss Violet butterfly bush in, you'll go up to File in the left-hand corner over here, and then you'll go to Save As. Right now, it's currently still saved as the 18 Butterfly Bush Buzz Hot Raspberry number 2-gallon, so we don't want that. We want it to be as the Miss Violet. So you go to Save As, and it'll bring open the Save As folder. We've all seen this folder, and we always save it by the year that we're in. So it's 2019, so we're going to type in 19, And then exactly how this is right here, butterfly bush, Miss Violet. So you'll no space after the 19, you'll just do 19 butterfly bush, and then you will go dash and type in the Miss Violet, and then you always do the size. This is an absolute must, because if we get the same plant in a 5-gallon, a 6-gallon, a 10-gallon, which is a huge size for a butterfly bush, but as an example, they can't have the same name, so you have to have something that's different. So you'll type in the pound sign and then the size, so number 3 in this case. If it was a number 5, then you would do a 5, or if it was a 10-gallon, then you do the number 10, but in this case it is a 3-gallon. That is how we want it saved as. And then as you can see, the save as type, you do not need to change this, it's already set. But if you remember from the first video, it has to be an LBL, otherwise we can't open it. Like, all this work that you just did just went for nothing if it's not an LBL. So just double check it. It's never changed on me, but just be careful. So you can press enter on your keyboard, or you can hit save, and now it is saved. You can see it change up here at the top, 19 butterfly bush, Miss Violet, number 3 LBL. So this tag is all ready to print, and in the first video I already showed you how to print. So this is completely done tag. Once again, just make sure you're printing the amount of tags that is absolutely necessary. Try not to print more than what you need. And if you have questions, just ask. Please, please, please ask. That's all I can ask for. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.